Hello everybody, today we are going to install the SASS and also we'll configure it inside the NetBeans. But before it, we'll need something what is called Ruby. Ruby is a programming language and it was used to create SASS. Yes, SASS was created in Ruby, and in order to run it inside a Windows, we need an environment of Ruby. And here we have an environment of Ruby. Here we have 32 bytes version, here we have a 64 bytes version. So, well, I have a 64 bytes version of my processor, so I'll use this thing. Remember that you have got many installation here, but we don't need development kit because we don't want to write programs inside Ruby. We just want to run program. We don't need to write it. We need to run the program and we need to install it. So we need just that thing here. Okay, so let's just click it. I need that version, and of course I have downloaded it already. So we have got it here. We are running the program. We are clicking OK. Now I accept the license. Next. Then it's very important thing to add Ruby to executables to your path. It is the system environment variable, and because of it, it will be easier to install SASS. Okay, it's very important to do it here. Without it, you might have problems installing it later. You can associate RB and RBW files with this Ruby installation. We don't need support, so let's just install it. We are clicking install, we are waiting, and we click finish. Okay, so Ruby has been installed properly now, and it's a good idea to reset our computer to run it again, because there might be sometimes problems if you do not do it. Okay, so I guess you have just restarted your computer, and now you can click the start menu and type CMD. So you have to use the program CMD, command program, and here you can type something what will install the SASS. Here we are on the SASS language side, and as you can see we have got an install menu here, and as you can see here we have just opened the CMD, and now what we need to do in order to install the SASS, we have to type something like that. Okay, so we are typing gem install SASS, and now we are just waiting. 3, 2, 1, go, install it, come on. Okay, as you can see, we have just successfully installed SASS. The documentation was parsed, and okay, it's installed. So we have got SASS now. We can check if it's been installed properly by typing something like that. As you can see, yes, everything works fine. Very cool. So now we can just use it. How to use it? Well, let's configure it first inside the NetBeans. Let's create a new project here, and we'll call it SASS. It's filter, so we have to create the project. Let's choose a HTML5 application, but it doesn't matter really. Now here we'll type the project name, which is SASS, and next. We don't need any template, we don't need any JavaScript library. We can add here if you want to add some kind of library that is being used in your project very often. This is a very cool feature of the NetBeans. Now we'll just click finish, and we have got a simple HTML5 here. We can close the start page, and let's now configure the SASS. Okay, we have to click here on the project. Now we need to use the properties from the submenu, and here we have got a CSS preprocessors tab, and here we have got something like configure executables. When you click on it, as you can see, we are being asked here for the SASS path. Let's click a browse button, and as you can see, I am right now in the C folder, and here I have got two Rubies. I think I installed by mistake 32 bytes version, but it doesn't matter. We'll choose the 64 bytes version and we'll go to bin, and here's the gem that we have just installed. It is a sass.bat file, and now we open it, we apply, and we have just configured SASS to work it properly. Okay, and as you can see, now everything that will be put inside the SCSS will go to the CSS folder. We can compile SASS files on save. It's very important, I think, because then we will not have to do it manually every time. Let's just check it here. Here we have the compiler options that we'll talk about later. Okay. So let's just use SASS now. So we have to have two folders, right? SCSS, and we have to have a folder which is called CSS. So let's now create inside the SCSS a SASS file, and let's call it style, finish, and as you can see, what happened? Automatically we have got here a style CSS and a map. We'll talk about maps later, so don't worry about this file here. It's a very cool file, but we'll talk about it later. And now everything we type here will be compiled into the CSS file. So we can now use SASS. So for example, let's create a header and type in font size 16 pixels. As you can see in the style.css, we have got automatically created this thing also. But well, you probably didn't notice it. Look, I am using the shortcut every time, Ctrl S, in order to save the file. So that's why it was automatically here. And now let's create something harder. So for example, let's create a variable size of header, and let's make it 16 pixels like below. And what happens? We have got here a warning. Something is wrong here. We don't know exactly what. Well, I used on purpose this sign here. It's wrong. It shouldn't be here. Okay, but I don't know. But you know, I know that it's wrong, but we didn't get informed about it. We can change it. We can do something like that. We can click here, and we can run our index.html file in the embedded WebKit browser. Let's click on it, then let's play. And as you can see now, we have got here content of the HTML file. So when we type here, for example, something in the header, sample header, and save, we'll have it automatically here. And what is more cool is that place here. As you can see, here we have got compiler errors, and here it says that we have got invalid CSS after size of header. So it is here after the, so it's here. He was expecting colon here, but he noticed what? An equal sign. So something is wrong. We should change this thing to this thing, and now everything works fine. When I save it, as you can see, the warning disappeared, and we can use that variable. Very cool. So we can debug our program pretty fast. Oh, I made here it by mistake. Now let's copy it. Let's call it h2, and now let's do something like -7 pixels. So header 2 will be smaller than the header 1 by 7 pixels. As you can see, the first cool thing coming from SASS. We have variables, so we can change then, for example, this thing to 20 pixels, and we'll immediately change header 1 in the style.css to 20 pixels and this thing to 13 pixels. We don't have to do it manually, so we don't have to type here 23, 15, 16. We don't have to count, right? It will be done automatically. That's the cool feature of the SASS. Of course, there is lots of more features but this is one of it. And well, everything works now fine, as you can see. When we type something here, we have got it automatically here. And this file, the style.css, should be transferred inside your FTP, where you have got your main website. So you don't need to use the style.ss CSS file on your website. This is just for you. You are using the style.css, okay? So we have got now our SASS configured properly inside the NetBeans, and everything works fine, so it's pretty cool, as you can see. But sometimes you might want to just do it online, but because you want to just check something pretty fast, right? Setting the project like that is taking some time. You can use the online version of compiler. As you can see, you can go to this website. Probably there are many more. You can just type something like SASS compiler online. And here you can exactly do what? You can copy that thing from here, or well, type it here, and you can see compiling, and we have got automatically it here. Also, we can type 25 pixels, and we can see that it's automatically calculated here. Everything works fine, right? And we can, for example, here click HTML, we can create H1 sample text. And as you can see, it's working fine. For example, we can add the color, and bam, it's working. Okay, that's all in the lesson. Thank you very much.